Tonight on American Report, the Trump Justice Department is suing California to stop its new no-secret police mask and ID laws for ICE agents. On the surface, it looks like just another immigration brawl, but the real fight is over who gets to control federal officers themselves, Sacramento or Washington, before these rules kick in on January 1, 2026. California didn't just wake up one morning and decide to pick a fight with Washington. The state spent years building toward this no-secret police moment, and now it's putting federal immigration agents under a kind of spotlight they've never seen before. SB 627 and SB 805 don't just say no mask, they tell non-uniformed officers, including ICE, that if you're operating in public, your face should be visible and your name or badge should be clearly displayed, with only narrow carve-outs for things like SWAT or undercover work. What most people missed is that California is described as the first state in the country to go this far, effectively trying to end the image of anonymous, mass federal teams operating on its streets. But the next part is even more unbelievable. California's pitch is simple on the surface. This is about stopping secret police-style tactics and protecting communities from intimidation and impersonation. Supporters argue that when heavily armed officers show up masked and unidentified, it doesn't just scare people. It opens the door for fake or rogue actors to pose as law enforcement. Legal voices backing the law, like UC Berkeley Law's Erwin Chemerinsky, go so far as to say that officer safety is often used as a pretext for practices that exist mainly to intimidate and serve no real law enforcement purpose. Here's the part almost nobody talks about. This isn't just a reaction to immigration raids. It taps into a broader 2025 anxiety around doxing, online harassment, and the growing demand that anyone wielding state power be traceable and accountable. What happens after this is even more shocking. On the other side, law enforcement allies in the Trump Justice Department say California has it backwards. They argue these same mask and ID rules will expose federal agents to harassment, doxing, and targeted violence, and could chill operations long before a case ever reaches court. In their telling, the laws don't level the playing field. They single out federal officers while state agencies enjoy more flexibility. So the central question becomes, whose safety is actually being prioritized here? The communities who fear anonymous raids, or the officers who fear being hunted once their identities are public? This is where everything changes, because once you frame it as safety versus safety, there's no easy pro or anti-ICE label left. Here's where everything takes a turn. In the lawsuit, the Trump Justice Department isn't just complaining about policy. It's rolling out some of the heaviest constitutional artillery available, the Supremacy Clause and intergovernmental immunity. In plain language, they're saying only Washington gets to decide how federal officers look and operate, and California has no right to layer on its own no-secret police rules just because those officers are on state soil. And there's a ticking clock built into all of this. These laws were signed in September 2025 and are set to take effect on January 1, 2026, so the lawsuit is a race to block enforcement before that date arrives. What most people missed is that this isn't just a political press release war. It's a preemption case designed to stop the experiment before Californians ever see the full impact on their streets. But that isn't the end of it. This entire showdown is actually Season 2 of a fight we've seen before. Back in 2018, when California passed laws like AB 450 and SB 54 to protect immigrants and limit cooperation with ICE, the Trump administration sued then too, and courts largely upheld California's approach, trimming only one employer notice provision. That history is now being quietly pulled into today's debate as a roadmap and a warning. Remember when we said this could become a test case? If this new mask and ID battle follows the same path, it could decide how far any state could go in imposing broad transparency rules on federal agents, not just on immigration, but potentially far beyond. And that's why this isn't just a California drama. It's a fight over who really controls the face of federal power in America. So in the end, this fight over masks and badges is really a fight over who gets to shape the power and visibility of federal agents in America. How do you think this showdown between California and Washington plays out from here? This is American Report. Stay informed. The story isn't over.